Guys, in this session, we are going to talk about the facilitation of action research. And then, as a teacher, that how can you facilitate action research? How can you explore the possibilities? How can you think about carrying on with your own action research? So that's the discussion point here in this session. Action research is the most rewarding and the most productive type of research for teachers, for the teachers of English language. Okay, so action research is an important area for you to carry on your researches. And you can think about, since in this course we are required to talk about the researches on phonetics and phonology, right? So you can think about the phonetics and phonological aspects of errors, that how students commit errors, right? How do they commit mistakes, right? So you can do error analysis by remaining within a specific framework. You can think about the errors, that why do students commit errors? What is at the background of them, those errors, okay? And then what's the justification? How do they justify that they are committing those errors? Not exactly in terms of the general level of justification that the error was done by the person. That's the justification for committing the error. No, but why those errors took place, right? So the why regarding the background of those errors, okay, in terms of a very particular framework of error analysis, right? In terms of ELT and other paradigms, that how the errors are taking place, okay? So you can think about the errors, and then you can also investigate your own practices, that which practice is effective and which practices are not really effective, which practices are effective in large classrooms for the teaching of pronunciation, and then which practices are not really working, right? So you think about such issues as well. And then the academic research into ELT, English language teaching, and then SLA, second language acquisition, right? So the point is that your focus is on the students, okay, and their academic environments, right? So what is happening around for the sake of ELT and SLA, and then evaluating the performance of students, okay, the learners' performances, and then your suggestions for development, for enhancement. So you can think about such action researches. One more idea would be, like, you can think about the relationship between reading and speaking, right? And just think about the practices of good speakers, right? What do good speakers do? So what is at the background of their good pronunciation? Are they good readers? Are they good movie watchers? Or is there something else which is in terms of exposure, which facilitate them to speak good English, right? Then you can also think about the role of good pronunciation in their personalities, okay? And you can talk about such other, interfaces which are related to motivation of the speaker, the good speakers, right? That what's the level of their motivation when they are good speakers? And then what's lacking in those students who are not good speakers? So you can also think about motivation as well. And the action research examples could be when you see the connection between readers and listeners, and then English reading strategies, like what are those strategies which are adapted by the good speakers of English? And what are those strategies which do not really work, which are not effective, and therefore the performance of the low graders, that's low, okay? So you can also think about those reading strategies. And then keeping in mind the requirements of action research, you can think about the background of the good performers. What was their background of reading habit, for example, at primary school level, right? So what's the role of primary school level reading at the background of good pronunciation? You can think about such possibilities, okay? And then the impact of pronunciation, that what are those points, what are those interrelated habits which really play their role in making a good person a good speaker and enhance the pronunciation of that person. Then you can also carry on with your researches in the field of theoretical phonetics, right? In the paradigm of theoretical aspects of phonetics, and within theoretical phonetics, when you document a language, right? When you document a sound system, you would think about those phonetical theories, and it may not be necessarily only limited to documentation. You can also think about the description of various sounds, right? The languages which are documented, the sound systems which are documented, but still there is need to describe some of the features of those languages, right? So documentation as well as description. And then it's for the sake of typological linguistics. Like you compare languages, you see those features, right? Those phonetic variations, those phonological, specific phonological features across languages, across various languages. That could be done. And then you can also think about the broader implication of these possibilities regarding the phonetic and phonology and the action researches which are just stemming from the areas of phonetics and phonology. So these are some of the possibilities. You can explore them, and at the end you would be a very good teacher if you are an active researcher, and that's the learning from this session.